Every great achievement begins with a small step, and often that step is taken in a place that seems ordinary, even insignificant. A garage, a quiet corner, a simple room can become the birthplace of ideas that later transform the world. When we think about humble beginnings, we are reminded that it is never about the size of the space or the resources we have, but the vision and determination we carry within us. In life, we often wait for the perfect conditions to begin something. We think we need more money, better tools, or the right timing. But history teaches us that revolutions are born in simplicity. The story of two young dreamers working in a garage, assembling their first computer, is a powerful example. They did not wait for ideal conditions. They began with what they had, trusting their vision and believing that their small start could someday grow into something meaningful. That garage became more than a place to work, it became a symbol of possibility. When we reflect on our own lives, the same principle applies. The dream we carry does not need a grand stage at the beginning. What it needs is action, even if that action seems small. A writer starting with a single page, an artist with one sketch, an entrepreneur with one idea, all of these beginnings may look insignificant to others, but they carry seeds of greatness. The important part is not where we start, but that we start at all. Humble beginnings also teach us resilience. When we start small, we face obstacles, limitations, and doubts. There will be voices telling us that what we are doing is impossible, that we do not have enough to make it work. Yet it is in overcoming those doubts that we strengthen ourselves. The garage moments of life remind us that belief and persistence matter more than external approval. They teach us to keep going even when results are not immediate, to nurture our vision when no one else sees it yet. There is also a beauty in simplicity. Working with limited resources forces us to become more creative. It pushes us to think differently and to find solutions that others may overlook. Often, the most innovative ideas come from those who had no choice but to make the most out of very little. Starting in a small place builds discipline, gratitude, and an appreciation for growth. When success finally arrives, it is rooted deeply in the lessons learned from those modest beginnings. Looking at your own journey, ask yourself what dream you have been postponing because you feel you are not ready. The truth is, no one ever feels fully ready. Readiness comes through the act of beginning. That simple step, taken in a quiet corner of your life, could be the spark that lights a revolution. Whether it is learning a new skill, starting a small business, or creating something from your imagination, your beginning does not have to be big to matter. The story of humble beginnings reminds us that the power to transform lives and even the world does not come from grandeur, but from courage. Every great innovator, every leader, every artist once stood at the edge of uncertainty, facing a choice, to begin with what they had, or to wait for perfection. Those who chose to begin, despite their humble circumstances, are the ones who changed everything. So, let your garage moment be the starting point. Let your simple space, your first step, your small effort carry the promise of something greater. Trust that what you are building now, even if it feels ordinary, can one day inspire, impact, and create a revolution in your own life and in the lives of others. The world does not need perfect beginnings, it needs brave ones. And that brave start is already within your reach. Innovation in life is not always about creating something entirely new. Often it is about seeing what already exists in a fresh way and simplifying it so that it becomes more meaningful and accessible. Simplicity is not the absence of depth but the ability to strip away the unnecessary so that the essence can shine through. When we embrace simplicity in our thoughts, actions, and choices, we free ourselves from complication and allow space for creativity to blossom. To think differently is to challenge the patterns that hold us back. Many people follow what has already been done because it feels safe, but true growth comes when we dare to question, when we ask ourselves if there might be a better way. In daily life, this can be as simple as changing the way we approach problems, seeking clarity instead of confusion, or breaking free from routines that no longer serve us. Thinking differently does not require genius, it requires the courage to look beyond the obvious. Innovation in personal life often comes from paying attention to the simplest needs. Consider how simplifying your environment, your schedule, or your habits can bring fresh energy and productivity. A cluttered mind or space limits vision, while simplicity creates openness for new ideas. By cutting away what drains us, we allow our creativity to rise naturally. Some of the most powerful transformations occur when we stop overcomplicating and focus on what truly matters. Think about relationships. Innovation in the way we connect with others does not mean creating elaborate gestures but simplifying interactions to genuine listening and kindness. In work, innovation can mean taking an ordinary task and finding a way to make it easier, faster, or more enjoyable. It is not always about technology or inventions, it is about the way we choose to see and respond to life. By practicing simplicity, we unlock our natural ability to innovate. To think differently also means daring to step out of the crowd. There is often pressure to do things the way others expect, to follow the path that seems most secure. But when you allow yourself to think in your own way, you create opportunities that others may overlook. Many of the breakthroughs that changed history came from someone who chose not to follow the usual path. In your own life, breakthroughs will come when you stop asking what everyone else is doing and start asking what feels true and inspiring to you. Simplicity and innovation go hand in hand because clutter, whether mental or physical, blocks vision. A clear mind is fertile ground for ideas. When we let go of unnecessary worry and fear, we begin to see possibilities where before we saw obstacles. This shift does not happen by accident. It comes through the conscious decision to simplify, to quiet the noise, and to allow fresh inspiration to enter. Living with innovation and simplicity is also about trust. You trust that even small creative changes can bring great impact. You trust that you do not need to overcomplicate your journey to make it meaningful. You begin to see that thinking differently is not about being radical for the sake of it, but about finding truth and clarity in your own perspective. The invitation is to live each day with a willingness to innovate and a commitment to simplicity. Ask yourself where you are overcomplicating your life and how you can simplify. Look at the areas where you are following old patterns and consider how you can think differently. These small shifts may not seem dramatic at first, but over time they reshape your reality. Your greatest strength lies not in copying what has already been done, but in allowing your own creativity to shine. By simplifying and daring to think differently, you open doors to possibilities that once seemed unreachable. The world is changed not by those who follow the crowd, but by those who quietly choose another way. In your own life, you hold that same power, and with every step toward simplicity and innovation, you create a future that reflects your highest potential. Life often brings us to moments where everything feels uncertain, where dreams appear shattered, and where we wonder if we have the strength to continue. These moments of near collapse are not signs of failure but invitations to discover resilience within ourselves. Resilience is the ability to rise again after being knocked down, to rebuild when circumstances seem hopeless, and to find strength where there once was despair. Every person encounters challenges that test their spirit. It might be the loss of a job, a broken relationship, financial struggles, or health difficulties. At first, these experiences can feel overwhelming, as though life has stripped away everything familiar. Yet hidden within such trials is an opportunity to grow stronger and more determined. What seems like the end can become the beginning of a new chapter, if we choose to rise rather than surrender. Resilience does not mean ignoring pain or pretending difficulties are easy. It means acknowledging the struggle while refusing to let it define us. It is the quiet decision to stand back up when life has pushed us to the ground. In doing so, we begin to rewrite our story. Many of the most inspiring comebacks are born from people who refused to quit when all odds were against them. Their strength was not in avoiding hardship but in facing it with courage and determination. Think of resilience as a muscle. The more we practice it, the stronger it becomes. When small setbacks occur and we choose to keep going, we prepare ourselves for greater challenges. Each time we rise, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of more than we believed. Resilience is not about never falling. It is about discovering that we can fall many times and still move forward with dignity and hope. Comebacks are often fueled by clarity. When everything seems lost, we are forced to ask what truly matters. Struggles strip away distractions and bring us closer to our core values. In that clarity, we often find a new purpose, a fresh idea, or a deeper connection to ourselves. What once felt like a collapse becomes the foundation for a stronger version of who we are. Rising again is not just about reclaiming what was lost but about building something even better. In your own life, think about moments when you felt close to breaking. Perhaps you doubted yourself, or circumstances made you feel powerless. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still capable of moving forward. That is resilience. It is proof that within you lies a strength greater than any obstacle. If you have survived before, you can rise again. Each setback carries within it the seed of transformation, waiting for you to nurture it with persistence and belief. Resilience also teaches compassion. When we struggle, we learn what it means to feel vulnerable. That experience allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to extend empathy and encouragement. Our comebacks do not inspire only ourselves, they inspire those around us who witness our courage. In rising, we show others that they too can overcome their darkest moments. No collapse is final unless we accept it as the end. Life is filled with stories of people who lost everything only to rebuild something extraordinary. They prove that setbacks are not the closing of a door but the opening of a new path. The key is to keep moving, to take one step even when the road ahead is unclear, and to trust that the act of rising will lead to renewal. Your story is still unfolding. Whatever collapse you may face, remember that resilience is already within you. You have the ability to rebuild, to transform pain into wisdom, and to create a comeback more powerful than the fall. The human spirit is unbreakable when fueled by faith, courage, and perseverance. Rising from near collapse is not just possible, it is the very path that leads to greatness. Loyalty is one of the most powerful forces in life. It is what binds us to people, to dreams, and to values that matter most. Just as a company builds a brand that inspires loyalty in its customers, we too can create a way of living that draws others to us and nurtures trust, respect, and connection. Building this kind of presence in the world is less about perfection and more about authenticity, consistency, and the way we make others feel. At its core, loyalty is born from trust. Trust is not created in one grand gesture but through repeated actions that show reliability and care. In relationships, whether personal or professional, people remain committed when they feel safe, seen, and valued. The same is true in life. When we act in alignment with our values, when our words match our actions, we create a foundation that others can depend on. That consistency becomes the brand of our character. Think about the people who inspire loyalty in your life. They are not always the most talented or the loudest, but they are steady. They follow through on promises. They treat others with respect. They live in a way that communicates honesty. This is how loyalty is earned, not demanded, but inspired. In your own journey, you can build this same strength by being true to yourself and offering the same respect and integrity you wish to receive. Loyalty also grows from emotional connection. A brand inspires loyalty not just by providing a product, but by evoking feelings of belonging, joy, or inspiration. In the same way, we inspire loyalty in others when we create genuine connections. When people feel uplifted in our presence, when they feel listened to and appreciated, they naturally want to stay close. This applies not only to friendships but also to professional networks, families, and communities. People are drawn to energy that makes them feel alive and valued. Another key element in building loyalty is consistency in vision. A powerful brand knows what it stands for, and it communicates that vision clearly. In life, when you know who you are and what you value, people are more likely to trust and support you. If your actions reflect your beliefs, if your choices consistently align with your purpose, you create stability in a world where many people waver. Others are inspired by clarity and drawn to those who live with conviction. Building loyalty is also about generosity. When you give without expecting immediate returns, when you share kindness, encouragement, and opportunities, you plant seeds of trust that grow into lasting bonds. People remember how you made them feel, and that memory lingers long after words are forgotten. Just as a beloved brand goes the extra mile to delight its customers, you can choose to go the extra mile in your relationships and commitments. Over time, these small acts of generosity create a reputation of reliability and care. There is also a deeper loyalty that begins within. If you are not loyal to yourself, it is difficult to inspire loyalty in others. Being loyal to yourself means honoring your dreams, respecting your limits, and staying true to your values even when it is difficult. It means not abandoning yourself in pursuit of approval. When you live in this way, others sense your strength and authenticity, and they respond with trust and respect. Your inner loyalty becomes the brand you present to the world. The power of loyalty is that it multiplies. When you inspire trust and connection, those who believe in you often become advocates, supporting your journey and amplifying your impact. Whether in friendships, family, or communities, loyalty creates circles of strength that carry us forward in times of struggle and celebrate with us in times of triumph. It becomes a shared foundation on which great things are built. In your life, you are already building a brand through your words, actions, and energy. Each choice contributes to the way others experience you. By choosing integrity, consistency, generosity, and self-respect, you create a personal brand that inspires lasting loyalty. This is not about seeking followers or approval, but about living in a way that naturally draws trust and devotion. When you do, you will discover that loyalty is not just about others standing by you, it is also about the strength, love, and commitment you inspire within yourself. The future is not shaped by machines, devices, or inventions alone. It is shaped by the people who dare to imagine new possibilities and then bring those visions to life. Technology is only one tool among many. What truly drives change is the intention behind it, the values guiding it, and the courage to look beyond what already exists. In life, shaping the future means asking how we can use what we have today to create something more meaningful for tomorrow. Every person carries the ability to influence the future in their own way. You do not need to be an engineer, a scientist, or an inventor to shape what is coming. Your choices, your relationships, and your daily actions ripple outward, creating patterns that extend far beyond what you can see. A simple act of kindness, a decision to pursue a dream, or the courage to stand for what you believe in can spark change that affects generations. Looking beyond technology means remembering that progress is not only measured in devices or systems but in the quality of life we create. A world full of advancements but empty of compassion is not a future worth striving for. Shaping the future requires a balance of innovation and humanity, a commitment to using our gifts not just for profit or convenience but to uplift one another. When we align our progress with values like empathy, respect, and unity, we create a future where growth is shared by all. In your personal life, this lesson is powerful. Shaping your future is not only about the skills you acquire or the goals you set. It is about how you choose to use those skills and goals to serve something greater than yourself. Success without purpose can feel hollow, but success with intention becomes legacy. When you ask not only what you want to achieve but also how your achievements can make life better for others, you step into a vision that extends beyond yourself. The most inspiring futures are built not by those who chase trends but by those who create them. Thinking differently, challenging norms, and daring to bring forward an idea that others may dismiss is what pushes the world forward. In your journey, you may encounter resistance when you choose a path that is unconventional. Yet these very choices are often the seeds of transformation. Shaping the future requires bravery, the willingness to stand in your truth even when others do not understand. Beyond technology, the future is also shaped by the stories we tell and the beliefs we hold. If we believe the future will be filled with scarcity, fear, and division, we act in ways that reinforce that vision. But if we choose to believe in abundance, cooperation, and growth, we begin to act differently. We invest in learning, in sharing, in building bridges. Each belief and each action, however small, contributes to the greater picture of what tomorrow becomes. Consider how many of today's realities were once dismissed as impossible. Flying across the world in hours, connecting instantly with someone thousands of miles away, accessing knowledge with a simple click, all of these were dreams before they became everyday life. This should remind you that what seems unreachable in your own life is not beyond possibility. With persistence, creativity, and belief, you can shape a future for yourself that looks very different from your present. Shaping the future is not about controlling every detail. It is about setting a direction and moving forward with purpose. Life will bring challenges and surprises, but when your actions are guided by vision and integrity, even setbacks become part of the path forward. The future unfolds not in a straight line but in the steps we take with faith, courage, and resilience. In the end, shaping the future beyond technology is about remembering that progress is human. Machines may support us, but it is love, vision, and determination that truly transform the world. You are co-creator of what comes next, and every decision you make adds to the unfolding story. When you choose to live with purpose and imagination, you shape not only your own life but also the future of those who will walk the path after you.